Yeah, running back the same list today that we tried yesterday. I liked most of the changes. Again, I still think we've probably weakened ourselves up versus red, but we'll try that. Anyway, so welcome to day 20 something. I don't know, whatever it says. Yeah, well, our opponent may not be here. Alright. Well, they mulliganed, and our hands pretty great. Scoot that crap over there. What's up, George? How bad was the drive home last night in that weather? And they scry to the bottom. Always one of my favorite Sphinx. Oh, mono red. Well, G G G G G G G G G G G G G G. We lose. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, like I said, we lose. We have not nary a chance. I was just saying that I'm pretty sure all the changes we made to this deck make us considerably worse versus mono red. Whew. I think I got home at about 2:30. The second Beaumont is going to do work for him. Go ahead and cycle this. We'll look for something. We just got done with the Commander Challenge. We got a min cash it again today. Not particularly well. It's the same list we top 8 with 2 weeks ago, but these last 2 weeks haven't went well for us. Really was hoping he'd miss a land. Alright. Well, we prevent what damage we can. Oh, no problem at all, man. I'm glad it worked out well for you. That's a good one, too. Alright. That card gives us a Modicum of Hope. But I'm guessing that everything we do is just way too slow here. Especially if he has the Hazoret. He literally played a turn one spell, turn 2 spell, turn 3 spell, and a Hazoret. Not gonna beat that. He's gonna get the refill with the Beaumont Courier. At least he has to attack Gideon probably. At this point, I'm literally may have. You have to attack the Gideon. Hmm. So the problem is he's gonna get 5 new cards here. We're not gonna be able to beat those 5 new cards. Hmm. How much should I care about 2 damage? And we'll do it during his. No, we'll just go ahead and do it now. Screw it. If he's got a second Hazoret, I'm willing to lose. I don't know if I have a choice to lose or not. I'm pretty sure I'm dead anyway, but as a second Hazoret, we're just willing to lose. If had a little bit more life, we could have cast out at the Beaumont. And he had the perfect card here. Any other card, Hazoret, I guess, would have been better, but the Mono Red's definitely one of probably not a good match post board anymore. Yeah, he's just picking up 5 new cards. I don't know what we can do about that. Even just the land gets him a 4/4 that attacks. So like it's impossible for him to have all blanks. If that's how you're doing, you should have probably played the 4/4. Alright. So we'll cycle this thing. Alright. We do what we can. We go back to 7. So Earthshaker puts us at 3. Hazoret kills us. Yeah, it's just an Earthshaker. Still alive. Considerably less alive. I think we can still win this game if we draw. If his hand is weak and we draw like approach, I think we could still win. That's not a weak card at all. So yeah, we're dead. No out now. Sack a dude, gain 4, take 3. Yep. No out. Stasis Snares. It's not an out still. Alright, we're just dead. Maybe I should have cast out on my turn. Yeah, if I'd cast out on my turn, I would be at 1. Because we would have used this on this. He's attacking for 4. We could have just gained 4. So we'd be at 1. Had I cast out on my turn. Maybe I should have cast out on my turn? Alright, wouldn't have mattered. Would it? So this would be gone. Well, no, this would all still be in play. I'd gain 3 life. Alright, wouldn't have mattered. If I cast out this and I gain 4 life, I go to 7. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then he untaps and kills me. I didn't have an out to win, I had an out to get another turn. I don't know, I guess I could have still hit approach. But anyway, the mistake didn't cost us anything. We looked at the top of our deck and it wouldn't have mattered. I'm pretty sure my deck's considerably worse now. Versus this match. These are just too slow. Don't want to draw multiple of these early. Blessed Alliances are fine. Gideon's fine. Stasis Snare's fine. Wills are fine. You don't really want to draw multiple of that card either. I'm pretty sure I've just made my deck incredibly weak. I'm pretty fatigued too. We just played the Commander Challenge, and I am not going to play well today. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys that. This is not going to be a play well stream. I am gassed. Well, this is just too slow. This is 1 land, and it's still too slow, but I guess I'll keep it. And my stomach's apparently just started to hurt. Game 2, round 1, and my stomach's already starting to hurt. This hand's real bad. I've not got to play a Game 2 versus Mono Red since we've made the changes to our deck. Not got to play a Game 2 versus Mono Red since we made the changes to the deck. Of course. Looks like we get to play this game at least. This is the first Game 2 to Mono Red since we took the Effort Meltdowns out. that we've even had 3 lands, so. He had a really good draw. I kind of feel like I have to use it versus that, but this other stuff's a 4-turn clock, so. Please don't have another 1-drop. Thank you. You probably shouldn't have shock in your deck. We just don't have an out now. Even if we hit the land, we're dead. So draw 5 cards off of a Beaumont again. Somebody told me they sideboarded a Beaumont out versus my deck yesterday. I made a lot of fun of them. Somebody in real life told me that. So I have to have an untapped land and a Fumigate to even get another turn. Neither of those do that. Pretty sure if we're not going to be running 4 authorities, we shouldn't be running any. Alright, we'll smash round 1. Yeah, I don't believe this deck's going to beat Mono Red anymore. I think to beat Mono Red, we have to have the 4 authorities and we have to have some number of Effort Meltdowns. Which sucks, because I really like this Essence Scatter, and I really like this Stasis Snare. They did a lot of work. Might be going back down to 3 approaches. I like the approach too, but... What do you mean just hit the C button? I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, if you're into chat, !decklist works. And you can look down below on the Twitch stream to find a link to my Twitter. On my Twitter, you can see every time I go live, every deck list I play, and a link to my YouTube. And on every YouTube video, a link in the description to both the deck list, the Twitch, and the Twitter. This hand's good enough to keep. Again, it's another pretty weak hand. Our weak hand become considerably less weak when our opponent played Basic Island on the other side of the table. Rip. It's going to be one of these days where we just don't draw lands. Oh, it's that deck? Yeah, we probably can't beat that deck either. Probably can't beat that deck at all. I imagine this deck's just something we can't beat. Sure. Alright, well, he's got to resolve something, right? The hell are you? Alright, maybe we can beat this deck. Hexproof. Hexproof's good. Alright, well, opponent's not playing Paradoxical Outstorm, so. Tap target artifact or creature? Sure. Renegade map, so he doesn't even have a counterspell. Bonesaw's ready. Does he attack with both? He did in fact attack with both. You sacrifice a dude. We'll go ahead and do the Cycly thingy. Okay. Sure. Thanks for the tip, by the way, George. We'll definitely do that. More Bonesaw being ready. So we'll gain 4 life and make them sack their dude. And we'll cry like little babies if he has a dispel. No, I appreciate it. It's a good tip for sure. So we have a Supreme Will and a Glimmer. We have a Stasis Snare. Does this thing have hexproof? No, that one doesn't have hexproof. We will keep you. We will... Sure, we'll keep you both. We're in a good mood today. You can stay in our hand. The one guy I know that played this deck at the Grand Prix was 4-3 and not doing well. He had beat Mono Red around though, but then he lost to like Ramp, and I forget what else he lost to. Versus a bunch of blue spells. This stuff seems pretty good. Probably doesn't have a lot of good answers to this. Gideons seem okay, but they don't seem great because of the hexproof thing. And because of Ornithopters, I guess, do stuff. Alright. There was a lot of Eldrazi, White Eldrazi at that tournament, which, and I could be wrong, but from my understanding, White Eldrazi's worst match is Teamer, or one of its worst matches, so it's hard for me to... I wouldn't have thought that that would be playable right now as popular as Teamer is. Lupine Prototype? I mean... Okay. Opponent's down to 3 cards? Another Lupine Prototype? Might as well try to counterspell that one. Essence Scatters aren't real good in this match, and he could just like have a... I guess he has a Metallic Rebuke. That's fine, we're not taking damage this turn. I don't think people like that just played cards because they wanted to. I think those guys were all playing it because it wins. So we could just be dead right now, by the way. This is a weird card to play when people could just be playing counter spells, right? I'm gonna use this one to counterspell it. Like, if he just draws a Metallic Rebuke, these things can't attack. That's just so awkward to me. Guess I'd rather play this now. We're hoping he doesn't tap mana here. What are you? Tap X artifacts you control, look at the top X cards, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom in any order. Okay. That wasn't a land, friends. That not being a land's kinda bad for us. That's kind of awkward. Is he looking for a dispel? Alright. I guess I want to gain to 4 life. Probably worth it to counterspell those. Means he's got to miss one turn, but if he plays the hexproof guy now, that would be bad. Oh, he drew a land, so that's good. Sure. We have a negate to protect our glamour, so we'll hold up the counter spells. There's some world that the censor does something. Sure. Don't want outer review. Okay, we'll take you. I guess we're not going to cycle the censor. Oh, it's a kitty cat. I said censor, but I meant cast out in that spot. We have a cast out and a. Yeah, he's done. We got paired versus a Bruiser. And we'll play our next match. Pop up the deck for all to see. Move this over here. That's pretty neat. I'm not going to do the spiel, but links down below and things like that. I'm going to find my phone. I doubt many people will watch today, but I turned it on when the Grand Prix went off, so hopefully. I really like my Llanowar if you traded me. Hey, Sean, what's up, man? Three more. Oh, yeah, 3 more Llanowars. Dude, my mind work doesn't work at all. I have the memory of a goldfish. Alright, well, we won the dice row. So we go ahead and hit play. Or multiple cycles and a lot of early interaction. I'm going to keep this hand, but it's pretty speculative. Good luck, Mr. Leon Farku. And he scryed and put on top, so his hand's almost undoubtedly considerably better than ours now. Alright. I'm cycling that. It doesn't matter what land he shows us. It doesn't change anything in that regard. Alright, well, we just have to draw 46 lands before we're dead now. You know what that is? That's not a land. You have second land, 10th card down. That's fun. Long Tusk Cub. I'm pretty confident this hand was a keep. Well, sometimes you just don't draw anything. I mean, we probably do, but we need like 5 more cards into 75, so I don't know how we fit the 5 cards we need in. Actually, probably need like 7 cards. Well, maybe he doesn't attack with the Servant for some reason. Yeah, attacked with the Servant. Yeah, still casting this. Whatever his follow-up is probably just enough. Like, he probably just follows up with some kind of like Chandra or something and crushes us, but maybe we could have held up the Supreme Will. But our life's pretty low. If he doesn't have anything, we have a chance. Hey, Steve Spam, what are you into today, bub? Hope you're having a good weekend. If opponent doesn't play any more spells, we got this. We got this, fam. Woo! What? Why didn't you just cast that last turn? Why didn't you just cast that last turn? So go down to 9 here, but we have 2 different types of answers for that spell. Hopefully we just draw land. I mean, that all depends on the budget-erino. Drafting's pretty fun, but like I said, kind of expensive. I have not, but I'm really not interested in that card considering I sideboard out hieroglyphs most of the time anyway. So back up to 13. As often as I sideboard out hieroglyph, I can't imagine wanting a pull in my deck. And even the matches that it's good versus, like the other control matches, like they're just going to have more dispels than me, right? Opponent could have just drawn all removal, I guess. Alright. Well, opponent's on a 2-turn clock. And we have 1 removal spell, and we have a counter spell that we could have used if, there is no free practice mode. There is some free programs that you can play for free, and I can give you links to those if you want. But they're not like Magic Online, and like you can't win money on them, or you can't win tickets or anything. But there is a few free places to play. All right, opponent. Yeah, he's not asking that though. I don't think he's asking that anyway. Like, there's places you can play fun games if you already have the decks on here. Let me try to find it on my phone so I don't have to do it on the actual stream. So, our opponent's playing Jund Monsters, Jund Good Stuff, just Jund. Typically, versus any black creature deck, I like to bring in these things just in case they're on Lost Legacy. Just in case they're on Lost Legacy. Well, he got the game 2 GG. I'll give him the GG too. That's kind of sweet. You don't get that very often. I believe we can trim on a counterspell or two since we have the Essence Scatter, and I think I want to cut one approach because I really am kind of afraid of approaches post-board versus these decks. Maybe if I'm willing to sideboard out the approaches in spots like this, the approach shouldn't be in my deck, maybe. There's a good chance the approach just shouldn't be in my deck if I'm willing to sideboard them out in spots like this. Probably not going to be cycling this game. I sent you a Whisper, Steve. That website should have everything you need to know on it. Oh, I didn't actually mean it to pop up on chat. Rip. My bad. I didn't think it would do that. I sent it from my phone even. The Glimmers are just the best card draw spell in the format. Losing the Hieroglyph gives you a little bit higher chance to get mana screwed, but the Glimmers give you better chances to win the game. He's going to get to draw at least one card with that, which is a little unfortunate. Ooh, that's a good one. If I didn't know that he didn't have Lost Legacy, I wouldn't bring in any of these creatures. I'm only bringing in the creatures like if we were in a top 8 scenario where we were looking at each other's deck lists and there was not Lost Legacies in his deck, I would have kept all the Hieroglyphs as well. It's a pretty good place. I used to play there before Moto. They play. It's a fine little program. Don't care if they resolved Nissa. Would be a little sad if they resolved a more impactful spell. Sure. So our opponent's just like not played any red mana this game, but he had double red mana in his deck for game one. That's kind of odd. The Fumigate's good enough to 1-for-1 for the tracker. Providing he doesn't add anything else to the board. And if he adds more things to the board, makes it even easier decision. Well, he didn't use his mana. Our opponent's giving us the good luck before the game, too. Yeah, well, we get some value out of the Fumigate. He got a lot of extra value out of the tracker, though. Don't want outer view. Bottom. Don't really want outer view either. Can't let him get the extra card, and this gets 7 damage off the table. 10 damage if you include the clues and the sacking of the Hydra energy. Whether we play the Cat next turn or the Glimmer entirely depends on how he plays this turn. Another Bristling Hydra, it means we're probably just cat scratching. Definitely just cat scratching now, I think. Cat scratching and trying to block as much as humanly possible. He only had one card in hand, so he can't have that many answers to the cat itself. He's drawn a lot of extra cards this game. We've got a Glimmer off, and he's still a card deeper in his deck than us. Well, we're a card deeper in our deck if you include the double scribe, but... Okay. Well, that's good. No Glorybringer this turn. Tapping 2 mana. Gante. Uh-oh. Don't like seeing Gante. Didn't attack at all. Interesting. Wonder what's in his hand to make it right not to attack. Drew a counterspell, so that's good. Maybe? Belderin. Why is there a big black square covering up how much energy he has? There shouldn't be. Let me look. I don't see it. So you're saying there's a big square up here? Like, right here's where he's got the energy. I don't see a black square when I'm looking. I might be getting trolled, but I'm gonna go look again. I don't see a black square there. Okay. Yeah, I pulled it up on my cell phone, bub. There's not a black square there for me. I don't know what to say. Okay, sweet. As long as it wasn't my error. I'm glad it fixed. I'm kind of like computer illiterate, so I was afraid I did something wrong. So we have quite a few good plays this turn. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a card and they discard that. My cards are too good to discard, sir. This come from the Gante. If people are, if that WTF was due to the stasis snare, it's because of his Gante. Let's start with this and see what we're going to do. If we get like a Fumigate, for example, Cast Out. Cast Out gets us our Caracal back. Ooh, there's an approach too. Not sure which I'm going to cast yet. Let's see what we draw for our turn first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we play this, it goes 7 down. We untap, it's 6 down. It's 2 down. Can't guarantee to get back to it that turn. I still think it's better to play it. Like, there's 3 more in the deck, and we could just top deck one of them. And the cast out should give us an extra draw step regardless. And we draw a certain number of cards. We draw a certain number of cards, we just win anyway. Like a Fumigate would be great. Another approach would be great. Any 1-mana cycler's great. Got a lot of good cards. Lost Legacy would be bad. We'd have to find a Fumigate pretty quickly. You started with double blacks. That's probably a bad sign. Not a bad sign. That's just Kalitas. We don't care about Kalitas. Like how I called it Kalitas and then called it a different name all in the same sentence. Alright, so it's 6 cards down. And we can get to 6 cards. But to see what he plays here and then make some decisions. We're not dead on board, so we may just not react to anything he does. Alright, don't care about that. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Since I can attack for 15-ish, give or take. So 17-ish maybe? Alright, that doesn't kill me, so I don't care. We had a leftover mana, so I could have, For everybody that keeps asking what Derivalists are for, Derivalists are good for exactly like spots like this. Because our draw step is wonderful. For anybody asking what the Rivulets are for, that's what the Rivulets do. They do more than just that, but like I have that's probably the most commonly asked question from my YouTube comments and my Twitter matches is like, why Rivulets? And that's That's just the answer in a nutshell. Like, it does more than that, but like at the very minimum, it allows that. So at the very minimum, it's playable because of that. Anyway, if you're into chat, exclamation mark deck list, if you want to look at the deck list, or you can just look at the screen. And if you feel really charitable, you can toss us a follow or even click the link down below and go follow my Twitter. On the Twitter, you see every time I go live, every deck list I play, and a link to my YouTube, which you can also follow if you want. And on the YouTube, if you're watching from there, there's a link to the Twitter, the Twitch, and the deck list in every description. If anybody has any questions or anything, hey, what's up? Bruno Matos. I think I just played him earlier. I've saw that name before. I did not think that was very good. I tried it. I didn't like it, but you know, different strokes for different folks. You may love it. I don't know. I hated it. Like the Nahiris just seemed like I never needed them. The main reason, if you play a lot of this deck, you'll often notice that over many turns, you'll just be saying out loud you'll be saying to yourself over times like, I need to draw a land. I need to draw a land. Especially when you're like trying to win with a 7-mana sorcery, and just drawing a port town on turn 4, turn on a fumigate turn, or on an approach turn, on any of those turns and it coming into play tapped can actually cost you a game. It's worth the risk for the farmlands because the farmlands also cycle, but like you don't really have that many issues with just the colored sources, so you just want as few come into play tap lands as possible. I've not saw the magnifying glass, and I've not saw the void shatter, which I believe somebody told me he was playing. It's going pretty good, James. By the way, how's it going for you? But the crafted graphstones are really good, especially in the mirror. I don't know how much I like them versus the rest of the formats, because like all the red decks, the teamer decks, all have like a braids and stuff like that, and I just feel like you're like setting yourself up to lose to those decks. But like what it does itself is great. So like if you're playing versus any of the zombie decks or any of like the white Eldrazi decks or mirror matches or anything, like the crafted graphstones are really good. In fact, if I knew how to tune the deck, I'd be interested in trying them. I'd be interested in trying the spine glass as well, but I imagine the spine glass is worse than the graphstone. Yeah, well, our opponent is possibly duo queuing. Okay, never mind. He's back now. Yeah, that reminds me. Somebody send me a message on my Facebook or something. Somebody remind me to go look and see how many of those I have. Or don't have, for that matter. Okay, so this is one of our worst matches. We just have to counterspell our land here and hope. We've already drawn 2 practically dead cards in this match. Ramp is one of like blue-white monument or any deck similar to blue-white monument, like spirits maybe. Things like that are decks we don't want to play. I also believe we don't want to play versus red deck wins with our new tunes to the decks. Yes, Buddylands. And I don't know if I have a playset of them all. And you also don't want to play versus Reanimator. But you don't really mind to play versus anything else. So that one's going to resolve, and there's not a lot I can do about it. Thank you. So we're going to cycle a hieroglyph this turn, because it's really important that we don't miss the land drop on the following turn. Well, the cast out's not a great draw, but it's not a bad draw. I can't use it in this spot because if I use it, he can just untap and play an hours. However, I can use it on the following turn. But we really just need to draw lands. Pretty much need to draw a land every draw step the rest of the game except for one random approach somewhere. That's different people's opinions. I think this format's relatively close. Like, I don't think there's a giant divide in this format as they were in other formats on what's tier 1 and tier 2 and whatnot. I do think that at least Teamer. I'm one of those people that always thinks there's exactly one best deck. But, like, that is very. A lot of people disagree with that fact, so I'll go with what's more commonly known. Don't want that, do want that. So, at least Teamer, Black Green, Mono Red, and Zombies would be what's probably in the tier 1 list. And the tier 1.5 list is probably Ramp, Approach, Mono White Zombies, Blue Red Control, Blue Black Control. Don't think I'm missing anything. So like probably 9 to 10 decks. Like it's a pretty open format. So this cast out stops him from casting a World Breaker next turn. And if he doesn't have another coming to play tap land, I can still censor an hours, or I can cycle this to try to get approach mana. But I think getting to Weirding Wood's pretty good. Oh, Monument's probably tier 2 as well. I guess I'm missing that one for sure. Unlike a lot of formats, like there's not a lot of like 70-30 matches. There's not a lot of 80-20 matches in this format. A lot of these matches are like 65-40. So that just really opens it up to being a lot more decks. Well, so our one prayer is having land? Could tap the right mana if I'm going to cycle it. Yeah, it's a pretty good meta. Alright, well that wasn't the land we needed. And that's also not the land we need. Well, that sucks. Hopefully, he probably has to have Eldrazi's because he's not playing any spells whatsoever, so probably going to have to get incredibly lucky now. I have an Essence Scatter to kill an Eldrazi, but the problem with the Eldrazi isn't the Eldrazi attacking us. It's the Eldrazi killing our lands that's the problem in this match. And short of like disallow to stop a trigger or like a summary dismissal, there's just nothing we can do to stop them from killing our lands. Doesn't matter what he gets, I'm still going to use the Essence Scatter on it, but just on the off shot that we top deck a landing and play the approach. It's kind of odd that he's going for the Rivulet. Anyway, need a draw 2 or a... That's not a draw 2. Or a land. That's not a land. None of those are lands. Well, just took what? Was that 7 cards to find the land on that turn? And again, it's not him killing our lands that matters, or it's not him casting Eldrazi that matters, it's him killing our lands. We need a 7-mana sorcery, and we need to play it twice. So him just like casting World Breakers and Ulamogs crushes us. Well, that was good for us at least. But he probably has another World Breaker anyway. No World Breaker. That means he's probably got Ulamog, and that's even worse for us. Well, that's one of the cards we needed. So now we can beat a World Breaker if we get lucky. So we can beat a World Breaker. Beating an Ulamog is a lot harder. We still have to find, if he has an Ulamog, we have to find yet another land. And the way he's tapping his mana generally means there's an Ulamog. You generally don't tap it like that if there's not an Ulamog. If he's got 2 Ulamogs, there's not an out in the entire deck. Land? Alright, well, it's a land. We're still playing. So we have to see what he hits. So we know he's going to hit at least one approach. How many approach? 1, 2, 3. Alright, well, we have one approach left on our deck. If it's got another Ulamog, we're dead on board. Can't beat another Ulamog. He tapped this land first again, so that's a bad sign. So yeah, killed 5 of our lands. Nothing we could do. And we're dead. Had to take the draw step because it could have been a cast out or something, and then like, I don't know. Could have got super lucky. The Blessed Alliances aren't particularly good here, and the Fumigates aren't particularly good here. But they do sometimes sideboard in Fault Not Seers or Tireless Trackers or whatever, so you have to keep a few spells like this just in case. But yeah, as you can see, the ramp match is just beyond miserable. There's no real way to improve it either without putting several more counter spells in your sideboard. Yeah, well, this hand's what we need to try to win. He's down to 5 cards. The white version's a little bit better than the red version because they have less diverse threats, whereas the red versions can just play Planeswalkers and get there. But you don't want to play versus either of them. He put on bottom, by the way, for those who weren't watching. They don't really have many spells that they can play on 2 mana other than Walking Ballista that matter, so I don't have to hold up the Censor this turn. Holding up the Censor on turn 3 is just much more relevant. Okay, that card doesn't do anything. Don't know why I sideboarded it in. I guess it can attack me 20 turns. Like I have no creature in my deck, so I don't know why opponent wants this. Maybe I'm missing what it does. Yeah, I have no creature in my deck. Maybe he's expecting me to have gear hooks? Not cycling the Censor because he didn't play a 3-mana spell, which means he could just be on hours. Yeah, but if we had better counter spells, we wouldn't have to counterspell the crappy spells, right? We could just wait for the Eldrazi. We have to counterspell the crappy spells with our current setup because we don't have anything that can really get rid of things. Alright. Well, this is the type of hand that can win. Especially when our opponent's not played anything. We're going to hold this Censor until the end of days, by the way. I'm hitting F6. I assume our opponent doesn't have anything. I don't know. Drawing the second approach gives us a good shot at being able to steal a game. Keep in mind our opponent did mulligan to 5. Yeah. We will have that new big dino, though, that's like uncounterable with hexproof or whatever. Shroud or hexproof or whatever it says. Yeah, can't do anything about that. And he drew a land, folks. Yeah, well, the Censor's considerably less good now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, goodbye, Censor. We'll miss you, since he's up to World Breaker mana anyway. Goodbye, Censor. We'll miss you too, since he's at World Breaker mana already anyway. I mean, if he doesn't kill our lands, yeah. Got to imagine at one of these points he's going to kill lands along the way. Supreme Will's decent, but not good. Sweet. Coming to play untapped. That's good for us. As long as he doesn't have another Shrine of the Forsaken, we probably win now. I'm gonna be tapped out next turn anyway. What's up, Jody? What are you doing, bub? I don't want to cast out either. Nice. We're trying to approach some second suns here. Got a good chance to win this game. Don't know about the match, but have a good chance to win this game. So there's the first approach cast. If we get to cast this next 7-mana sorcery, we win. So we really want to see no Shrine of the Forsaken God. Oh, Lost Legacy. Well, we didn't sideboard in any other kill conditions, so we just lose. Well, that was pretty miserable. Anyway, anybody in chat can look at the chat on screen or type !deck list and see the deck list at any time. You can also click the list below, or the link below, to find my Twitter and see every time I go live all the deck lists I play and a link to my YouTube. And on my YouTube, I post every stream. At some point there'll be content other than the streams, but in every video there's a link to the Twitch, the Twitter, and the deck lists. Alright, yeah. Okay, there's my advertising. We'll go back to playing on my cell phone. Exclamation mark, but yeah. The people here can just look at the screen, but if they don't know what cards does, this second link lets you hover over it and read the cards. Thank you for following Eric BT Jr. Appreciate it. So sideboarding in alternate kill conditions versus the ramp decks just doesn't really work either. If they're bringing in Lost Legacy to cast off their gifts and their paradises, cards that I'm actively wanting to use negates and cast outs on, you know, the more power to them. They're going to get us sometimes. But that's one of our worst matches anyway, so the fact that they're bringing cards like that in to beat us when we can't beat them anyway is kind of impressive. Oh, by the way, thank you for subbing today, James. I don't know if I told you that yet. So we'll see if we can get up there and get this a pity chest. People do strange things. Anyway, so let's get this round 5 going. We lost to dice row. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they've not played the match enough and they just see a bunch of approach and don't realize how heavily favored they are. But, like I said, I don't mind losing to that. I expect to lose that match most of the time anyway. Like, even if we go to game 3, like, I don't think I'm winning. I did think we were going to win that game, though. And we're versus red deck again. Hopefully he's not red deck wins. Hopefully he's just like some other deck that played basic mountain, but could be Teamer with like a magma spray in his opening hand. Nope. Could not get that lucky. We have to play the farmland, unfortunately. That one thing does way too much damage, and we're going to have to try to stasis snare it. But yeah, we probably just lose. We took like 9 cards out of our deck that are good in this match. So, like, we're not going to win this match when we've taken 9 cards out of our deck for this match. That's kind of hurtful as well. He's got a bad enough hand, we're okay. Going to save the stasis snare, I believe. Just in case he does have Hazoret. Probably gets rid of the Falconrath Gorger here. Could have got rid of the other one, like say he had a second Karl Zev in his hand or whatever. Well, this is not going well. Anywhere other than your trade binder. I like it. I approve. Alright. That's exactly what we wanted to draw. Yeah, I think we're a little bit of favorite game 1 and a heavy favorite game 2 or 3 if we have all of those cards. Why not cast out at the end of the first main? Our land come into play tapped. We couldn't. These 2 lands come into play tapped. Oh, opponent's mana screwed. I guess that gives us some hope. We hit another land drop. That's nice. We have an Essence Scatter for a real spell. We have a Glimmer if he doesn't have one. If he doesn't have like a creature or whatever. Getting through one more turn without him putting something relevant on the board would be very good to increase our chances. Well, he hit a land, so he's definitely going to add something to the board. We'll use it while we can. At the end of the first main, I didn't want to take any extra damage. Or maybe I'm missing something. I'd have to look at the replay, because apparently it's sounding like I'm missing something simple. Well, we have sensors in our deck, so we'll go ahead and cast the Glimmer now. Look for a sensor and or a Blessed Alliance. Probably get rid of any card that's not one of those two things. Rip. That's bad for us. Yeah, well, we're going to gain a life. We can repeat this play over to next turn, too. Except next turn, we'd have a Supreme Will for the second thing that they play. So as long as they don't just, like, slam a Hazoret this turn, we're probably not in the worst shape. Had to be a Hazoret, by the way. Because we know my luck. I guess it's better to use the Supreme Will. Oh, I was still holding up. Is that the turn I was still holding up Sensor? I guess I could have killed it. Anyway. So I can look for a cast out. Or I can look for a Little Gideon. We get to look at 4 cards either way. This one uses the mana better, I guess. We're shipping anything that can't deal with a Hazoret. Alright, well, we found something that can deal with a Hazoret. We're at 7 life, though. This is very, very bad. We need him not to have something basically one more turn. Played a Mountain. Shock Hazoret kills us. Alright, that's our 250 points from the Commander Challenge. I have to pull it back up and look at that. I guess I can do that on my phone while we're playing. Chandra. Yeah, we dead. We dead Reno. Need to draw a approach this turn? Alright, so what are our best lines? We can technically cycle this, then use this if we miss. Start with a cycle. Start a second impulse. But we had a cast out. I'm pretty sure I'm still dead. I think opponent has another Hazoret in hand. That's why he fought so long last turn. This game feels like it would have been an easy win if we had the cards that we want. Or that we removed from our deck. Feels like it would have been. Oh, wait. I assume we're just dead now. Yeah, he's tapping his mana awfully fast. Yep, we're just dead. Yeah. Opponent drew 2 Hazards and a Chandra in his top 17 cards. We looked at 30-ish cards and never saw an approach. Happens. Anyway, bring in all of this crap. This is the third match versus Mono Red that we've played in 2 days after we cut all of the spells that we considered good versus Mono Red because we hadn't been getting paired versus it. That's a little unfortunate luck-wise, if you think about it. Believe I want all of this stuff. Maybe I don't want the Essence Scatter. Definitely need to cast out. It's a Fumigate or a Supreme Will. We'll take out the Fumigate. Anyway, so we'll play first. Alright, this hand's a keep. It's not good. We'll have to get somewhere, but we have a Blessed Alliance. ×2. They do some work. We have a Censor if he doesn't have a good turn 1 play. Or even if he has a good turn 1 play, we can still get his turn 2 play or whatever. Really want to see no Beaumont. No Beaumont helps a lot. So we can censor whatever this is. Wouldn't have cared if he cast Shock. Wouldn't mind to draw an Approach right now. Or, sorry, an Authority. I don't know why I said Approach. Actually, wouldn't mind to draw an Approach either just to have it, but have time to find that thing later. He is a good one. Linvala's a good one. So he's going to get to resolve whatever 4-drop he wants. Still has 6 cards in his hand? Wow. Still got more cards in his hand than we do. So which one of these will sack will probably depend on what's in his hand. If he has another Pia, he could sack this one. Nope. Wants all the damage. What 4-drop is it? Prefer it to be Hazard. Chandra's pretty hard to beat from here. Yeah. Chandra's pretty hard to beat from there. It's not impossible to beat, but not real happy to see it. Planning on casting Glimmer this turn into the Linvala, and we're just hoping he doesn't play anything. Well, that's a little unfortunate. I'm doing this literally in his main phase to attempt to make him make an error. He did not make the error. Alright, well, that being said, I guess we cast out Deshandra. We don't get the value off the Linvala yet. We still have a Blessing Alliance we can use on something. Yeah. He can resolve a Hazoret now, but we have a Gideon. He can resolve buying back the Earthshaker Kinra, or he could just get another one of those. That's problematic. Alright, well, I don't have a choice. I have to play this now. Have to be able to try to start pressuring Deshandra. It's really easy for him just to have any random burn spell to kill the Linvala, though. If he does, maybe we can get lucky and draw a cat. He's also thrown a burn spell at my head, so he probably had another one, but him minusing the Chandra is not that bad for us either, considering the big thing we're worried about Chandra is the ultimate. So I still need to find an approach and a land. This is not looking good. Yeah, all the cards we cut for this match just makes it so awkward. So you got mana, okay. Sure. It's kind of interesting. I have not saw any new spoilers today. I guess we don't want that one dealing damage. It's a lot harder for him to kill the Linvala now, which is pretty nice, but it's not impossible still. Scavenging grounds, so he's going to chunk my Gideon, which makes me sad. He may hold the Glorybringer back on defense, which would be great because we have the Blessing Alliance. Oh, and he did. That's pretty nice. So that worked out well for us. Need to draw want to draw like a Glimmer or something now. Alright, so what are we drawing? We drew a card we didn't need. He's tapped out, so I'm just going to attack first. If he blocks, we'll get the Kinra. If he doesn't block, we get the Glorybringer. Him not blocking is a bad sign. That means he probably has another Chandra in his hand. Alright, so now we can just draw authority. And he couldn't Demonic Tutor and beat that, but, you know, not likely to get that. He is attacking with the Glorybringer now. If it's another Chandra, that'll be disappointing. It wasn't another Chandra. Interesting. Well, the Rivulet doesn't do much here, does it? Make him waste 2 spells and me take 8 damage? That seems like too much. I think I'm just going to Fumigate and get things off the table. All he needs is a spell to be able to attack Frutal Linvala. I could have held the Linvala back for a blocker, but like, all he needs one burn spell. And I'm taking 8 damage. And that seems like too much. He gets to kill the cat, but that's fine. We could top deck another cat, and that's an exert if he kills the cat with that spell. If nothing else, we're at least gaining 2 life off the other cats. But forcing him to exert's fine, because that's 4 less damage. We could just have an Abrade or a Hazoret or like a million things, but really need to just draw approach now, friends. Top decking another cat's really good here too. Sure. Alright. That's practically the card if I got the Demonic Tutor that I'd have probably taken. So what do we got going on? Don't want you or you, so that's pretty easy. 40 to the bottom, land to the bottom, and 2 lands to the top. Not a fan. Not a fan. And gain 5 life. Hopefully we draw another Glimmer. This game's been very awkward. There's an approach. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Just so I can go ahead and F6. I have enough mana that if I draw any Cycler into, I don't know, something. Hold him back to try to block with. We got rid of 2 more of our cats. Our opponent floated out real bad this game, and it's been extremely hard for us to even get in a spot where we have a chance. No burn spell would be nice here. So we know our other approach is 3 cards down, and then we have, you know, a random amount of approaches at other places. Oh, that was a good one. That was a very good one. That gives him a 2-turn clock. Because now he doesn't have to exert. Alright, well, Fumigate's a good one. Gains us a decent amount of life here. Doesn't kill this, but we still get to go up to 19. Interesting. That was a good one, because he can get the Earthshaker back too. It's going to be tight. We're either going to be 1 turn slow, or we're going to be right on time. Just drawing a cat would be nice here. Oh. That's a good card. Is that a good card? If so, why? Alright, well. This match feels miserable without these extra cards. Our opponent had to literally draw 6, 8, 9, 10 lands. 10 out of 25 is not that bad, I guess. I thought it was a lot worse. Okay, never mind. Maybe it is worse. It's 13 out of 25. Yeah. Don't have to draw a lot of lands. Anyway, so for a game 3, approaches seem a little slow. They can get out easy. It's about the same, I think. I don't really think I want to make any changes. I don't think we win very many games that we don't draw to approach on turn 1 or a Blessed Alliance on turn 2. But we'll have to see. Wonder if it's time to stop playing Blue-White Approach on stream. Still my favorite deck. Thank you for following, Jody. Alright, well, we have spells here. We have a Blessed Alliance, but we have like 4 spells in our hand that cost 4 more mana, and none of them affect the board really. And this hand's even worse. And this hand's even worse. What do you do? I just can't win if I keep this hand. Alright. This is literally the best hand we've saw. Yes, I put a card on top of my library I can't even cast. I realize that. But if we don't hit the land, we're going to lose regardless, and we have to have that spell if we do hit the land, so... Gotta try to run hotter than fire, basically, is what I'm trying to say. This is, you might enjoy the YouTube channel then. This is the 24th day of us streaming and testing this deck. We've made a lot of changes along the way. 2 days ago, we cut the 40s out of the main deck, one of the 4 40s from the deck, and several Effort Meltdowns from the deck, and Mono Red's felt unwinnable since then. Alright. Sad thing is we just can't beat anything. Can't beat any of his 4-drops. Can't beat... I don't know, he could just play like a bad creature, and... He didn't play any 1-drops, he didn't play any 2-drops, so like his entire hand has to just be stacked full of powerhouse cards. Which is the type of hands that we actually do the best versus, but... Not in this game. Then again, we did mulligan to 4. Yep, that's a Hazoret. Did mulligan to 4, so... Yeah. Most people hate it because it's bad with Blessed Alliance, which it is, but just not having interactive spells on turn 2 versus turn 2 and 3 versus these red decks is just game states that you cannot win. So now we have to answer 2 giant 4-drops. Should have waited till after his attack step, but... Right, well, we don't have the mana for you, and you answer one of his big 4-drops, so I guess we'll keep you. Alright. Land? Not a land. We can beat what we see, maybe? Getting the Hazoret first prevents more damage than getting the Chandra first. It does give him the opportunity to just play another Hazoret, though, which is pretty terrible for us, but... Like, we're not going to beat another Hazoret. We're not going to beat 2 Hazorets and a Chandra in that many cards. I think our only outs at all, and these are the pipe dream outs, mind you, is like finding a Plains this turn. That doesn't even work probably. With the second Kenra, that probably doesn't even work. Alright, so we just can't deal with anything. Playing a cast out here, we still just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage down to 5 with double Ramunap in play. I don't think we can win without getting greedy. I'm pretty sure I have to cycle for a land. If I miss, we lose on the spot. If I hit, what could happen? We still just lose on the spot? Eh. That's what I'm thinking, Tar Heel Boy, but I'm trying to think if there's anything that lets us live if we just play cautious, and I don't think they are. Don't think they are. Like, the game's over if we just miss, or we draw an untapped, or come into play tap land, we just miss. Oh well. The Fumigate after is not that great because, like, so we cast out on this, we take 7, down to 5. And even if we hit the Fumigate, we go back to 8, then back down to 4. So, like, we still would have to find a way to cast this before he could just Ramunap twice. I think this was the best line, but like I said, we lose anyway. Alright, well, today went kind of miserable again. What did we lose to? We played the same list we played yesterday. We lost to a red deck yesterday and we went 4-1. We lost to 2 red decks today and we lost to, I don't know. I don't even remember what this guy was. He beat us quick though. What were you? Oh, the red green ramp player. Sure. Okay, so today we lost to red green ramp, which is a bad match. Mono red, which I believe is a bad match. Mono red, which I believe is a bad match. And then we beat 2 brews. Didn't learn a whole lot today. Changes going forward. I think I have to put the cards back in to try to beat Mono Red. That's 3 losses in my last 10 matches versus Mono Red. So, like, it's kind of a small sample size, but if 30% of my matches, or even 20% of my matches are Mono Red, like, I can't just give up these matches to Mono Red. So, like, we may have to go to the other build. If I'm looking to beat Mono Red, I'm looking to take these 2 cards out. Probably this card out. Bring the Fourth Authority back. Probably put some of them main. But at least these 3 cards out. Maybe the second Gideon out. Might just want 1 Gideon versus Mono Red. And cards that I'm looking to bring into the main deck and or the deck to beat Mono Red would be Ether Meltdowns and Authority of the Councils. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Again, had a pretty long day. Been playing Moto for the last 6 hours, so I kind of need a bit of a break. I'm going to see who to host, and then I'm going to bail. Boots doing a real live stream. I think he's at Washington, but he's not playing Magic, so can't host him. Second Gideon does seem good, but again, it's a 3 mana spell, and we just need the 2 mana spells to beat Mono Red. So I'm looking for somebody to host right now that would be playing a deck that I liked. I'm failing to find any. We may just get the boring Caleb host today. Not that Caleb's boring, but I mean, like, he doesn't need hosts, is what I meant. Yeah, there is literally nobody that I watch on. Alright, well, Caleb, enjoy. He's drafting. I don't want to host somebody that's playing draft. I'm just not going to host anybody. Screw everybody. Screw the whole world. I'm going to host this Zach Z and L guy or whatever. What's he playing? He's playing some rotation-proof standard brew. Anyway, thanks for coming by, and thanks Local Dope for the subscription today. I appreciate it. Getting those Twitch Prime subs out there is great. And check out my YouTube and do the subscribe onto YouTube if you don't mind. It's free and it helps me promote the videos. But anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll be back tomorrow hopefully. That is not the right username. I'm literally looking down at it, so what did I mess up? Yeah, that is what this says. I am not blind. Oh, that's an L on the end of it. Okay, sure. Okay, I give up. Screw this guy. What the hell is his name? That is this guy's name. Alright, screw it. Caleb gets it then, since I can't spell this guy's name. See you guys.